been through, especially together. The past years were not ever what we thought would be the high school experience. We found out in middle school that we were getting a high school, and the decision started about what high school to go to. We all came here knowing it wouldn't be the normal, but still decided to stay in town and with each other. Taking us back to elementary school, this is when most of us were focused on growing up and getting out of there. What we didn't realize was that these were some of the most fun years of our lives. It was a time when our biggest worry was winning tetherball at recess or counting to 100 Mississippi to get a place on the swing set. A time when it didn't matter what you were doing as long as it was fun. We had the thing where you would run laps around the track to get beads, and you'd always dig to the bottom of the bag where like the sports ball shaped ones were. This is also the time we learned to play the recorder, and also the time we got fidget spinners. 5th grade was the year we watched the video, and nobody was allowed to talk about it, but we all talked about it. And then moving into middle school, it was a big change as we were no longer the oldest grade at the school. Little did we know that 5th grade was actually the last time we were the oldest grade at our school until this year. We were introduced to Mr. Sampson, who was absolutely not the pencil guy. And this is where we had a lot of our firsts. We had our first foreign language classes, tech ed, and art classes. And our middle school years brought new opportunities, such as student council and the school sports teams. We had our first extremely awkward school dances. We started getting detentions instead of refocuses. And these were the times when bottle flipping was cool, and also the time that TikTok and Fortnite came around. And this was the first time we had class periods and lockers. We also had to carry around binders instead of backpacks. And this is also the time they built a high school onto our middle school. What? Then COVID hit. We were at home for the rest of 8th grade. Taking a picture of yourself doing a single push-up and then saying that you did a full workout for gym class. And then using the exact same picture next week. The time we had Zoom calls for classes, but they were optional, so you know how that goes. And at the end of the year, we even had an 8th grade graduation where we were all spread out and our families had their own little circles on the field. And with heavy anticipation, we would be going to high school the next year, praying that it would be in person.
We all knew high school wouldn't be easy, from the schoolwork to being social. Before you go into high school, people always say your friend group won't make it or classes are so hard and you'll really have to study. Some of us never believed that and others did. Looking back at that, we can all say we have been friends in some kind of way, even if it was just for a project or a brief time. High school is hard. You have to learn to balance school, sports, a social life, family time, and still somehow get sleep at night. I really don't know how some of us did that, but we made it through these crazy last 4 years. We started high school on a rough note. With COVID completely changing how we functioned at school, we sat together all day, every day for a week in one class with 20 other kids. We really met people we had never really talked to before. One of the downsides was if you ever came into contact with someone who had COVID, you were sent home for 10 days of isolation, which was quite boring. During our freshman year, we still made it fun. We had door decorating contests for homecoming. We even still had some sporting events to attend. I'm sure we can all remember having to sit on Mrs. Schoenfeld's stools every day and complaining to her all the time. The teachers were exhausted, and so were we. We just wanted to be in a class with our friends, not stuck with the same 20 kids for a week. The one thing that kept us going were the mask breaks, the 15 minutes or an hour outside messing around because we couldn't stand to sit in our classes any longer.